Hello and welcome to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. I'm Jason and my dog Rigby and I are part-time gold prospectors slash outdoor enthusiasts based in Wisconsin. If you think all the gold's out in California, Arizona, and Colorado, well, you'd be mistaken. There's plenty of great spots in Wisconsin and around the Midwest for that matter to find gold. And today we're going to go and do our best to find some. Back in a bit. Hey Rigby. Well, here's what we got in mind today. Since I don't have any particular spot in this creek, which is down there, picked out because I'm kind of on the hunt to see what happened after that big flood, I'm going to be packing light today. Now I've got a backpack here and I can fit quite a bit of stuff in there, but I'm not bringing all my big heavy equipment, and I have some pretty big sluices, etc. So I'm just going to bring the bare necessities. I've got this Garrett Super Sluice pan right here. I've got my bucket. And I've got another little pan which helps me see the gold because I'm getting blind in my old age. And I brought this little sluice here. Now this thing here, don't let that little sluice fool you. I can shovel a lot of equipment on top of this sluice and quickly find out if I'm in a great area or not. Now it's just a small 24-inch little river sluice, 7 inches wide, and I've got some different types of mats on there. Now this here is a silicone mat I made from some forms I got from a YouTuber named Alan Robertson. He has a great channel and he does pretty well out in Montana. And those work pretty good. And I've also got a chunk of Gold Hog Mother Lode mat in there. And I've got some sawtooth mat from Washington Beach Mining, and that stuff really works great for the fine gold. I think it's important to have different surface areas for the different shapes and sizes of gold. You know, this one might catch something that this one won't, or, you know, vice versa. So I have 3 different styles of matting in there. And the main thing with this sluice to move material is this screen. You see how that's bent up like that? That sits right over the top of those mats. That slides right in there, just like that. And it keeps the screen off of the mat, oh, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch like that. That allows me to shovel right on top of this once I have this set up in the body of water that I want to prospect in. And I can shovel fast. I mean, I can shovel right on here. The water washes all those rocks right off, and it keeps all those rocks off my mats and doesn't interrupt my water flow. That's the key to using these mats in particular, is you don't want to have rocks on there because it'll create like a little vortex and all your material will get washed right out of there. So that's what we're bringing with today. And that's going to give me an excellent opportunity to sample an area real quickly once I get it set up. So without further ado, I'm going to load this stuff in my backpack. And the rig bomb and I are going to get down there and find some gold. Back in a bit. All right, we're at our location, and I'll show you why this is our location. I went ahead and I got the sluice set up here. I was fortunate enough to have a log going all the way across the creek, or, you know, some of it's a little submerged there, but I put a couple of rocks down in there and here and there. Now it's sitting flat, and I got a good amount of water flow. Now this spot is chewing through a nice big high bank, and a lot of this is all glacial material, glacial gravels, etc. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of gold concentrated in that material itself inside of there. You can see there's rocks and gravels and whatnots in there. But as the water is smashing up against this bank, it's dropping material down. And only the heaviest of the heavy is going to be left laying there when the high water comes through. It's pushing all that light wash sand and etc. down the creek and leaving the heavies like black sand, hematite, gold. And you know, not every single spot's going to do that, but in this spot in particular, it's coming down and it's kind of got a little bit of a bend right here, right? And it's pushing up against that bank. Now you can see that the water right here is faster than the water right there. As a matter of fact, some of that water is not even moving in there. But in high water, there's slightly more flow right in there, which is washing all that light material out of there and leaving the heavy stuff. So I think that the gold that's sparsely located in that stuff is dropping down and getting concentrated along this bank right here, maybe up until about right there where the water really starts picking up in speed and volume again. So I think this whole area right here has got great potential for gold. So I'm going to grab my shovel right there, and we're going to start shoveling on there. Back in a bit. That's what we want. Then we just kind of wait until we don't see any more light sand on there, and we throw another one on there. And that's cleaning out about as fast as I want. Not instantaneously, but you know, if it takes a couple of 20 seconds or so for that thing to clean out, then I know that it's holding on to the heavies and exchanging the lights for the heavies. Heavies being the black sand, garnet sand, gold. So I'm going to spend some time and really pound some of this material on there, and we'll take a look at what's in it. Mine boss is up there, keeping all the critters off my back. Yeah, back in a bit. Now I always stress the importance of test, test, test. You don't never want to work on ground, you know, that's unproductive unless you're just looking for something to do. Well, we got a little of both going on today, but since I have my sluice set up, I went ahead and I took a big Garrett sluice pan out of that hole, right from the same hole I'm shoveling on. And I'm gonna go ahead and pan this out, because I'm looking for black sand in particular. You're not gonna get a whole lot of material run in Wisconsin or anywhere else if you're looking for every single little dot of gold. You're looking for numbers. And a great way to do that is just to look for black sand, because the gold is going to be associated with the black sand. Just because of the weight of the black sand and the gold, they tend to concentrate together. And a lot of that black sand's made out of iron, so it's heavy. So if I find a lot of black sand, I know that I have a better potential for finding gold. And this is a great way to do it, just with a pan. And I can come down in here and absolutely move a bunch of material with a pan as well, but there's no comparison to a pan and a sluice, in my opinion, if you can shovel right on that sluice without having to concentrate your material down with a strainer or whatever. All right, now that's about as far back as I want to go with that, and we'll pull that back, and I'm seeing a really good amount of black sand for one pan. That's very encouraging. Now, unless there's some really big gold in here, I'll probably never see it because there's not enough light in this woods yet. It's pretty early, and it's 46 degrees, by the way. I'm encouraged by the amount of black sand. So I think we're in the hunt, because I know there is gold in this creek, and there could be some tiny dots of gold in there, but I'm not worried about it. I'll throw that right on my sluice, and we'll continue shoveling on it. Back in a bit. All right, now I'll show you a little something else cool about a system like this. It gives you the opportunity to inspect rocks as you're dropping them on there. You know, a lot of them slide off, but you do get a pretty good glimpse at them. And I find plenty of really cool rocks, and on occasion I find an agate or, you know, some other type of cool looking rock. Here's one of them. I don't know what type of rock or whatnot this is here, but it is quite interesting. I mean, it's got a lot of character going on there. It looks like it may have been part of a contact zone or something, and the material that was inside of there has since worn out. Now, I got a buddy, Chris Lilly, lives up in Alberta. He wants me to send him all these cool rocks I get every time I go out. Well, I don't. What I do is I find them, and then I throw them like that. Boy, that just gets under his skin. That's for you, buddy. Back in a bit. All right. We found something else really encouraging. Now, if you've watched a number of gold mining videos out there, you know, not just mine, but anybody else, if you find clay, that's a really good sign. And I just hit it. You see right on the tip of my shovel there, where I just started licking the clay. Now I'm down about almost 2 feet in that hole right there. And I started yanking up this stuff here. This is really good, hard packed clay right here. I can kind of break some pieces off of there, but it's really, really good and sticky. Well, guess what sticks to that? Gold, black sand, etc. Oh, yeah, it tastes good. Not really. All right. I've got 50 shovels run through there. That probably comes out to, I don't know, 4 or 5 gallon pails or so. And that's typically what I like to run through this before I check and see if we're on a good area or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little clean out here. And it's pretty easy. Just lift up the business end, dump it in my pail. I'll pull that screen up and out of there. Get the rocks out of there. Like that. And give her a little splash. Just like that. Now those silicone mats, they'll hold on to material a little bit more readily than say these rubber mats. So I just like to flip that over and give it a little bit extra splash. But along with holding on to everything else, that silicone holds on to the gold really well. So I think we've got that cleaned out pretty nicely. We'll get it in a pan and take a look at it. All right, I've got all that material in my pan here. And I just want to give you a little showing of just how heavy that black sand is in there. Now, not all of it's going to be magnetic, but a pretty good portion of it will be. I'll just take my little magnet here and I'll run it through there. See that? That is all super heavy magnetic black sand. And there's lots of it in there, I mean, compared to the amount of material I have. So a really good way to work through this material first is to remove the magnetics. And I have another pan right over there, and I'm going to do just that. Let me see if I can reach that thing over there. Yeah. All right. Let's throw a little bit of water in there. Like that. And I'll dump it right in there. And then I'll maybe just pan that stuff out because, you know, it's not that much. So let me find a little bit of light in the woods here. It just disappeared. I had a little bit. It's tough in these dark woods. Let me pan through some of the magnetics here and we'll see if there's any gold in it, and then we'll pan out the rest. Back in a bit. All right, I've got all the magnetics removed out of this material here. Look at that little glare. The sun's coming back out. And that's what I got left. Probably not quite a full tablespoon, but that's still hard enough to pan. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pan this down a little bit. See if there's anything in there. Now, once you get that magnetic black sand out of there, what's left is quite a bit easier for a couple of reasons. There's a lot less of it. And I don't think this other type of sand here is quite as heavy. You know, I could be mistaken. I've never really done a laboratory test or anything, but that's not what I do. I come out here to have fun, and guess what? I am. All right, that's probably going to be enough, close enough here. I'm going to grab that, let me get that pan over here. I'm going to grab this black pan here again. I'm going to put it right in there and see if there's anything in it. Back in a bit. All right, we got it. Well, there was a little bit of gold in here. Let me get that glare off of there. Come on, camera, you focus. You know, there's maybe, I don't know what it looked like, about 20 little dots in there. And when I say little dots, they are really, really small. Super small. Now, is that a spot that I would come back to just to spend a whole day for 20 little dots out of 5-gallon, five-gallon pails? You know, maybe. But I know that on this creek, there are some really good spots. This spot here kind of caught my eye a little bit, so I checked it, and there was a little bit of gold in there. You know, that's a pretty good hole I got in there. That's a couple of feet deep, and you know, I may come back here sometime, maybe even this winter. Heck, there's limited options in winter, and that's a possibility right there. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe take another little hike. Some of that up there looks pretty intriguing, and I'll see if there's any specific deposits or good-looking gravel layers maybe, or boulders. I see there's a big pile of boulders there that I've never seen before. That flood really worked this spot over. I'm going to move up there quickly and maybe do a little test panning. Back in a bit. All right, we made it up here. Now, what I thought was like a naturally occurring body of rocks. It looks like somebody built a small little dam here, possibly to set up a sluice. I'm guessing right there. And that tells me that, you know, they put in that kind of effort. They must have done a little test panning and found some gold here. It looks like, I do believe they were digging right there. And it all filled back in with light blonde sands. That's typically what you'll see in the holes that, you know, when they fill back up with light sand. So what I'm going to do is the creek kind of widens out. It's real narrow right there, and it comes down here and it's widening out right here. This is going to be the settling area somewhere from up there down to in here. This whole area is really wide, and then it gets real narrow again, kind of down where we were, chewing away at that bank. So we're going to find out if there's any gold to be had up in this little settling area here. Now you can kind of see the rocks here, and it doesn't look like anybody's been working this area here. They're still black on the top, so they haven't been turned over in a while. They're kind of got that black staining from the cedar swamp here. So I'm going to dig in and around this little base of this tree here, right up and around and underneath this little nodule sticking off of it right here. Looks like some pretty good material. Maybe I'll luck out and hit a clay layer or something right away. Let's see if we can come up with something good. Wonder where the mine boss went. He's around here somewhere. Back in a bit. Buddy. Well, we found some gold. And a bigger piece, too. For Wisconsin. I haven't even got it all the way panned down yet. And I'll show you. That was just off the top. Look right there. There's a little piece of gold in there. That's a pretty nice sized piece for around here. Let me try to pull the rest of that back one time here. Now that's the only one I see. No, there is another one. Oh, I'll be darned, look at there. Here, let me get that camera focused on both of them ones. There's one right there. Come on, water, get over there. There's one right there. And there's that other one right here. Look at that. Nice little pieces. Oh, there's another one right there. Come on, you. Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. 3 pieces in one pan, right out of in there, underneath this little nodule sticking off this tree. It might be a clump of roots or something. But you just got to think outside the box sometimes. I guess, you know, maybe the water is hitting that just right and depositing heavies there or something. You know, I'm not Orville Redenbacher. I don't know everything. I'm learning as I go too. And I do learn a lot from the comments. So I'll tell you what, let me get a bunch more material out of that with my pan and see if we can't come up with something. Back in a bit. All right, test pan number 2. I ran that all down out of that same exact spot over there with my big super sluice pan. And I threw it my black one because it's too hard to see. But look at that. There's 4 nice little pieces in there. We found a little something, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them up with my little snuffer jar here. There, we got them. And we're going to do a few more test pans. And then we're going to get home. I think me and the wife might do a little kayaking or something. Hey, there's the mine boss. Back in a bit. All right, Rigby keeps telling me to keep digging here. And I'll tell you why. Because you can kind of see the hole I've been working on here. And I hit the clay already. That's probably not even quite a foot deep. See all that brown, mucky, sticky clay in there? That's what I like to see. That might be the reason why we're getting really good gold right here. Let me pan that one down and we'll take a look at it. Back in a bit. We're just about wrapped up here. Every single pan I've gotten out of there so far had gold in it, including this one. Now that one's only got 3 little pieces in there, but I'm happy with it. Look at that. It's pretty rare anywhere that I go that you find gold in every single pan. I've got a couple of spots out in western Wisconsin that you can really do well, and you know, every pan's gonna have a little bit of something in it unless you're, you know, digging in the mailbox out there or something. But I'm really impressed with this spot. I'm gonna leave this one be. That might be another winter spot. I got stuff to do today too. This is just another opportunity for me to get out and have some fun out in the wilderness in Wisconsin. Me and my little buddy right there. That's right. Back in a bit. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Flower Gold Wizards. We had a great day today. What a way to get out of the house for a couple hours and just spend time out in the woods or doing whatever. My dog Rigby's sitting right there. There's no mosquitoes, no bugs of any kind. It's nice and cool. You don't even build up a sweat. And there's gold to be found. It's just a number of activities you can do in Wisconsin and around the Midwest. And this is one of my favorites. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe, and please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Check out my Patreon page in the description below. Flower Gold Wizards, out. And the gold for the day. You're not going to get rich, but it sure is fun. Out.